Donald Trump has, believe it or not, overseen a pretty massive federal expansion of healthcare due to this coronavirus pandemic. And his actions have actually significantly outflanked the mainstream Democrats, including Biden. And that's an issue because if our number one priority in the general election is to beat Donald Trump, then we need to be clear on how to do that, and we need to be strategic. And what we're seeing from this, this cynical president who actually doesn't really care about the average American is a policy change when it comes to healthcare that can be considered way more effective and way more to the left compared to what we're seeing from Democrats. So let me give you the details, okay? Because I think the details matter. I think the amount of money he's spending on this matters. And I think comparing it to what we're seeing from Democrats matters. So the Trump administration, according to Politico, is already pumping hundreds of billions of dollars into a key health sector that it previously vowed to rein in, expanding Medicare benefits and boosting payments to state Medicaid programs by an estimated $50 billion, while promising to directly pay for coronavirus treatment for thousands of uninsured in what some experts say mirrors a single payer system. And by the way, some of those experts are actually on the left as well. So this isn't some rebranding that we're seeing from Republicans. And the numbers are there. Rather than going through Congress and making this more complicated, the federal government has decided, all right, these hospitals need help. We need to provide some relief to people who don't have the money for the COVID-19 treatment. So let's just immediately fund the hospitals and make this funding available to them. So over the last few weeks, for instance, the Trump administration has green-lighted legislation that sends $100 billion in aid to frontline providers, including hospitals that administration officials have fought with for months over plans to tighten pay rates and require more financial transparency. The Trump administration also separately authorized billions more in loans to cash-strapped hospitals and doctors through the Medicare program. When it comes to Medicaid, the Medicaid spending is estimated to total $50 billion over the next couple years, a figure that could soon be dwarfed by Congress's next round of injections into the healthcare system, still scrambling to catch up with the fast-spreading virus. Again, look, I'm bringing this up not because I genuinely believe that Donald Trump is a warrior for reforming healthcare. No, Donald Trump is a goon. Donald Trump only cares about himself. He only cares about getting reelected. And this is the type of stuff that he will then cite on the campaign stage or the debate stage, if that ever happens at this point. I don't know. Everything is really up in the air. And what is the response going to be from Democrats, and namely Joe Biden? So far, what we've seen from Democrats is the proposal to reopen enrollment for the Affordable Care Act, which doesn't go far enough, guys. Let's keep it real. It doesn't. And we don't want to be in a position where Donald Trump can position himself as more of a warrior for healthcare than the Democratic Party. So I know that there's a lot of focus right now on Bernie supporters and whether or not they're going to turn around and vote for Biden. I get why there's concern about that, I guess. But we also need to apply pressure on the Democratic Party to really, do something substantive and aggressive in expanding healthcare for people who are scared right now and who don't have the means to pay for these treatments.
Yeah. This is good. So let's give him credit. You're doing the responsible thing because you have a commitment to ethics that most people in media don't these days, and you're giving him credit for this while also not being so uncritical that you'll pretend that he's had a sudden change of heart or something like that he actually cares about it, that he won't potentially reverse these in the future. So you're doing the responsible thing. And what we have to add, of course, is that, let's see, why did he hate John McCain? Why does he still mock him to this day? Because John McCain stopped him from absolutely killing the ACA a couple of years ago. He wants people with pre-existing conditions to be thrown to the wolves, unable to get health care. If he had his way, he would press a button that makes that the case right now. Just in February, he proposed a budget that would cut $1 trillion from Medicare and Medicaid. So we have to acknowledge both facts, that he is, in the short term, adding some money that will be very helpful and necessary necessary, especially in a time of a pandemic. And as soon as he is not worried about getting reelected, he's going to go back to doing the sorts of cuts that would have been unthinkable just a few years ago. On Biden, the reopening the enrollment in the ACA is virtually nothing, obviously.
Yeah.
No credit for that. Now, that obviously is not everything that he has planned for healthcare in the future. What he has planned is also not enough, but we should acknowledge that that's not the entirety of it. That's what he wants to do right now to help with the coronavirus. And no, he doesn't deserve virtually any credit for that. Hopefully behind the scenes, both Bernie Sanders, who is going to be putting as much pressure as he can bring to bear on Biden, hopefully he'll push him in the right direction. They seem to be trying as hard as they can to court AOC, who's obviously, this is going to be one of her main concerns as well. But they need to demonstrate that they're listening to that and they're going to actually do something. The onus is on them now.
You're absolutely right. Look, we're in a moment of crisis. And this is the exact opportunity to make your case for a robust healthcare reform proposal, right? And we aren't hearing anything from Biden. I mean, Biden's like hiding out somewhere. And again, look, if the Democratic Party's number one priority is to get rid of Trump, they really need to think about their own actions right now. They're way too concerned about Bernie supporters. They're way too concerned about trashing them and preemptively assuming that they're going to do all these terrible things. Like, okay, how about focus a little bit on the things that you can control right now, which is providing real solutions for people who are experiencing this moment of crisis. And to your point about, opening up enrollment for the ACA, there was an excellent piece in Jacobin that talked about how this really isn't much of a solution. And I want to give you the numbers. So for instance, a bronze plan with no premium still carries an average deductible of $6,506. And doubling down on ACA isn't just bad policy, it's bad politics, providing Donald Trump with an opening to posture to Biden's left and repeat the same playbook Trump used against Hillary Clinton in 2016 when he cynically campaigned on a promise of universal health care. He is a schmuck and he is a liar and he will do anything and everything to lie to the American people to get reelected. That's where I'm coming from. Again, I want to be clear. I don't think that Trump is like some secret leftist who's looking to provide health care for all. I mean, he has been brutal to our healthcare system. He's been brutal when it comes to government spending on our social safety net. But come election time, he will do what it takes to get reelected. And this is something that Democrats need to be hyper aware of. And their actions doesn't make it seem as though they are.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.